So who here is looking to manifest their own property? I've talked a lot about SP manifestations and various other things, and I'm going to share with you how I manifested my dream home. As you know, I've been on this journey for 20 years, and now it's coming to just over 20 years. God, I'm feeling old. But you can imagine in that time, I have manifested a lot of different things. And we talk a lot about SP manifestations, but I'm going to share with you how I manifested my dream home. The application of the law is the same for everything, no matter what you're desiring, no matter what you want. And I do this with my clients too, who majority of them, like 99% of them, come to me for SP manifestations, but we always make sure that they manifest other things, that they have other goals, because it's lovely to have something that is also for yourself, and we're not all hyper focused on the one thing, because we all desire different things: cars, free holidays. That's why when you listen to the success stories, they've manifested all kinds of things, including SP, promotions, money, you name it. Hello, Coco. He's come and joined us at the right time. It's like he knew. He's always fighting me for the heated blanket. So stay tuned and relax, and I shall share all. First up, I'm Athena Raven. This is little Coco Bean, my lovely assistant. I'm a manifestation and mental health life coach, and we're here to inspire and empower you to realizing your dreams and desires, give you a massive hug, make you smile, make you feel loved, and just give you the boost and the confidence that you need to go out there and start realizing your dreams, because you can absolutely have it. Listen, if I can do it, you can do it too. Don't be put off by my years of experience. Even when I started this journey and I was learning about the laws, I was manifesting amazing things. That's why I'm sharing these stories with you too, and how I did it, so you can bring about the same thing. Although all our paths might be a little bit unique, and our bridges are certainly going to be unique to ourselves, but don't be put off by that. If you enjoy the content, please do like and subscribe. Help this channel to grow so we can reach a wider audience. Coco loves and appreciates you all, as do I, and thank you for joining us. Please do click that bell icon as well, so you never miss our faces. And yeah, manifesting this home. So this story, this was something I always had in mind anyway, that I never wanted to rent. I suppose after university experiences and things like that, I decided that I really wanted to own my property. I just wanted to get on the property ladder. That was my goal and my ambition. And of course, when I was in my early 20s, I had that ambition, and I was just discovering the laws, just discovering Neville's teachings, just learning about it, not really putting it to the test. And so doing the typical thing of, I'm curious about all this stuff, but I fell back asleep and I went back into the 3D, battling with the 3D. And that was saving and working hard and saving and investing in this and trying to boost my money and not getting anywhere. I wasn't getting anywhere. So much resistance, not accumulating enough money fast enough. Years and years are passing by, and I'm still living at home with mum, trying to reach this desire, trying to get on the ladder. And in the meantime, you know, 3D is showing me recession. 3D made me redundant from my job. 3D was showing me as well that there was like a price boom in the house market, and there was not enough properties, and there's like 10 people bidding for the same property, and prices are just shooting through the roof. It was well above my budget, and it was awful. Later years, I decided that I was getting more accustomed to using the law regularly, and it was my dream. And I had not seen what the property necessarily looked like. I had felt and had a good idea of what I wanted. I wanted something small and cozy that was going to be easy for me to manage, easy to look after. I wanted something with a garden. I didn't want an apartment. I wanted a house. I didn't want a lease, and I wanted it to be mine, and the location had to be a certain place near to my friends and my family, because I'm a bit of a homebody as well. Good commute to work. I had all these. This was my checklist. This is exactly what I wanted, and I was sure and I was clear about it. And so began my search of the ideal property. So 2 years pass, and I'm searching in my own time. I'm not forcing it or pushing it or rushing it, but I'm searching out there. Like I say, 3D was showing me a lot of resistance. Maybe I was falling into it a little bit, but I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt I was going to get that property that ticked these boxes. So I'm looking, I put in a couple of bids on some properties and I got outbid every single time. And I couldn't compete with any of them. I just couldn't. I didn't have enough money. Okay, so as I started to utilize the law in those 2 years, things were working in my favor. I was getting bonuses. I was getting a bit of inheritance, some extra money. So suddenly I'd accumulated enough money to have a deposit. But again, as I was looking at these properties and putting in my bid, people were outbidding me, way outbidding me, and I just couldn't compete for it. But I was frustrated, admittedly, but I did not get derailed, and I did not allow the 3D to dictate to me what I can and can't have. I decide. So after this 2-year journey of searching, this property comes on the market and I come to see it. And it's such a lovely secluded place that even I couldn't find it myself. I thought, this is brilliant. I feel safe and secure here. As soon as I walked in through the door, it was mine. I just felt it. I knew it. Quite a few of my clients actually have manifested their properties, and perhaps some of you viewing this too have experienced that, where you walk in somewhere and you're just like, this is mine. As soon as you've walked in through the door, you see yourself here. You feel yourself here. I'd already decorated and furnished this property, and I kept on decorating it and furnishing it in my mind every time. Like after I had seen it, and I went to see it a couple of times, I was just like, this is it. No other place compares. This is the place. And it ticks everything on my checklist. It ticked every single box. So I put a bid in. I put an offer in, which was way lower than the asking price. I think it was 30 or 40,000 pounds less than what the owners had been asking for. And in a time where the market is booming and there's so many people seeing these properties and there's so many people bidding for a property, I was like, well, this is the bid I'm going to put in. I went in a bit higher than I could afford, but I was just like, let me just put it out there. And of course I was rejected. It was way too low for what they were after. So I carried on looking at other properties, but all I could see, all I could feel was this was my property. And I kept on stating it to anyone who would listen to me, my mom, my friends. I went to see this property. I can't see myself anywhere else. This was the property. This is mine. I've already furnished it. I'm already here. See, internally, I was here. I was living it out. I was seeing myself in the property. I was seeing my friends in the property with me, seeing the layout of it. I saw it all. And I've had that before with clients too, that had stated to me that they had also gone to see a property. They decorated it. They knew exactly what they wanted. Or maybe they hadn't seen the property. They had it in their mind. They pictured it so vividly. And then this property comes up, bam, and it's exactly like the vision that they had. But of course, I didn't know exactly what mine looked like. I just knew the attributes of what it had. I was a little bit more general. So what happened was, behind closed doors, and this is what I mean, the bridge is always moving. Movement is always happening. It's working out in your favor, even if you don't realize it, even if 3D circumstances seem undesirable. I've talked about this in previous videos. Sometimes those undesirable circumstances really are a big smack in the face, or sometimes it's just you've been rejected. But as it stated, Neville's teachings and through scripture, turn my back on the lions, turn my back to the obstacles and what 3D was showing me of this booming market, of these house prices that I couldn't compete with, these high interest rates and all that. I just turned my back on it. And I was just here. So I can't remember how long had passed. A couple of weeks or so had passed. It wasn't long. And the estate agent gets in touch with me to tell me that the owners of the property had found their ideal home and they wanted to accept my offer. Now, what was really interesting about this is that these period properties, there's only 4 of them terraced, and they are so cute. And because the location is so perfect and because it's such a safe enclosure, they're very highly sought after, particularly as, you know, commute and everything. It's just, like I say, it ticks so many boxes. So neighbors have told me, actually, since I've moved in, how so many people, as soon as any property goes on the market from this enclosure, like it gets snapped up straight away. So many people will come to view it. But for some reason, this property, no one really came to view it. And at least if they did, nobody put an offer in. So my bridge was unfolding that not many people came here and no one else put an offer in. And so the bridge also unfolded so that the ideal property came up for the owners of this property, and they loved it so much that they were willing to take the significant drop in price in order to buy their dream home. And because they loved it so much, thank you, Bridge. Thank you. It put me in a position of power because I offered more than I was able to afford. And so I stated to them, I retract my offer. Actually, I lower my offer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you less. Another, I can't remember actually, 10 grand or 5 grand, something like that, less than what I was originally offering. So the estate agent goes back to the owners and they come back to me and they accept it. Perhaps begrudgingly, but they accept it because they didn't want to lose this property and they weren't getting anyone else interested in this place at that time. Very unusual, like I said before. So everything panned out beautifully. And then when we did the survey on the house, something had come up with a minor bit of damp and I was able to drop the price another 1,500. So it all worked out for me in the end and it was just perfect. The bridge was unfolding. Even though everything was stating no to me, I continued. You know that video I've done before about brazen impudence? It's like not taking no for an answer. That Neville's lectures, if you haven't checked it out, I recommend you check it out. It's just that consistent, persistent. It's always about persisting with your desire, but I'm persisting with my end result. 3D is telling me no, but my inner man has experienced it. I experienced it and I know what I experienced, that I was already living here. So I don't really care how many times 3D is telling me no. I'm here already. It's going to happen. I claimed this property. I claimed it already. It was mine. And so it had to unfold to give it to me. I think there was a story in scripture or something that Neville had shared as well about, and I think that's in brazen impudence too, but now I'm just remembering off the top of my head, so I'm sorry if I'm getting it a bit mixed up, that you're knocking on the door to, you know, can I have some bread? Can I have some food? And it's like, no, it's late, go away. And you just persistently, you keep on knocking, you're not going away. And so it has to be granted to you because you're not going away. You're not taking no for an answer. I mean, think about it. How many entrepreneurs or inventors, actors, authors, you hear about their success story and becoming famous and successful. How many failures did they have to go through? How many times did 3D and people around them say, no, you're crazy. This is impossible. This can't be done. I mean, J.K. Rowling, for example, how many times did she push for Harry Potter to get published before it was? She had a ridiculous number of rejections. And so I was being rejected for all these properties because those properties were not ticking all the boxes of the dream property. Remember, don't settle for anything less than your desire. You're entitled to have this desire. So that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get anything less, but you have to be brazen about it and consistent, persist in it. 3D's telling you no, who cares? Can only tell you no for so long until eventually you get that yes. You only need to get that one yes. And so then everything just pans out. So apply this to everything. Claim it and live it like it is yours now. Believe in what you have internally experienced and allow it to be expressed on this 3D screen of space, as Neville calls it, which can take a bit of time to conform, but that's okay because your desire is not going anywhere in the meantime. It's there waiting for you to be realized. So I really hope that this helped you and inspired you. We send you love and we'll see you in the next video.